processed products I won't buy anymore. I've bought renowned sausages. That's a good brand, supposedly to be. I bought it from Enterprise Thursday. And if this is it, sorry, I won't purchase any more products.
The world's largest outbreak of Listeria is happening right now in South Africa. Out of almost 1,000 cases of food poisoning since January last year, around 180 people have died. The government linked the outbreak to one of its largest meat manufacturers, Enterprise Foods, and a sausage known as polony to South Africans. The company denies it has anything to do with the deaths, but that hasn't stopped neighbouring countries from banning the import of processed meats from South Africa. Well, let's talk to South Africa's Shadow Deputy Minister for Health, Lindy Wilson. She's from the Opposition Democratic Alliance and joins us from Cape Town. Lindy, good to have you on the programme. The largest Listeria outbreak ever recorded globally. It's another award for South Africa, an award that South Africa doesn't want to have. How was this allowed to happen?
Well, indeed, you're quite correct. It's certainly not a record we'd like to be holding. However, there's a lot of issues that surround this. And I think what one needs to realize that the bacteria, Listeria monocytogenes, is everywhere. It's on farms, it's in feces, it's in agriculture, it's everywhere. And there's not a South African who does not come across or is in the path of Listeria, the bacteria itself, on a daily basis. What has happened here, however, is that a particular strain has got in or has been traced to this particular factory. And obviously, it's an industry where the turnover between process and consumption is very quick. Therefore, it's a very high-risk area. The fact remains, though, is while it's been sourced to this point, is that the original source? And I think this is the concern. We don't know that exactly.
Right. Have a little listen to Lawrence McDougall, the Chief Executive of Tiger Brands.
There is no direct link with the deaths to our products that we're aware of at this point. Nothing.
Okay. That's what he said there, and in a moment I'll tell you what they told us very recently. But first of all, Lindy, your response to that, was that denialism from Tiger Brands?
Well, I don't know that it was denialism. As I say, our concerns are was that actually the source? Because we have our perception is that the Department of Health has failed in this whole Listeria outbreak, how it has been handled and what led up to this. And one of our concerns is that the World Health Organization has said we are 3,000 health and environmental officers short. And the concern then has raised itself that had the inspections been done, had Department of Health been doing their job, or the municipalities been doing their job in the first time, that this possibly could have been prevented and picked up before it reached outbreak stage.
Right. And for those who'd say, well, of course, you're in the opposition, so you would criticize. The government's been doing all it can. Your response would be?
Well, my response is let's deal with the facts. And the facts are that we're 3,000 short health and safety inspectors. They are not equipped, they're not qualified, they don't have the resources, and not just to do factory inspections, but to do port inspections as well. So it's very easy to point fingers at the factory. Is that in actual fact the original source? Ourselves, Australia and other countries around the world import emulsifiers and what they call white slime. How do we know? Can the minister tell me concretely that this listeriosis did not come through the ports? It is amazing that other countries at the same time as us are all facing the same outbreak, and are they importing the same products as we are?
Yeah, lots of big questions. I mean, some people feel it's just one factory in Polokwane. Some say, we just don't know, as you say. Now, not long after Lawrence McDougall said what he said, we reached out to Tiger Brands and Enterprise, who own Enterprise. We wanted to have them on the program. They refused, but they gave us a statement. Here's a truncated bit of it. We can confirm that we have, with immediate effect, undertaken a full national recall of the affected Enterprise ready-to-eat meat product range. Additionally, we have suspended operations at both Enterprise manufacturing facilities and have halted supply to trade. the company is working closely with the authorities to conduct a recall. If you were in a position of power right now, would you concur with this? Is this the right way to go?
Oh, absolutely. I think it is. However, the problem goes further than that, in that everybody who's bought these products is now discarding them, dumping them, throwing them out in their rubbish. And that is the problem, because now we have run the risk. It's one thing to recall it, but what about the products that are out there? The person who's thrown the polony or the Vienna sausages into the bins, into the rubbish. And if this is contaminated, it's going to create an even bigger problem in the long run.
Yeah, good point. So Namibia, Mozambique, Malawi, Uganda, all saying no processed meat from South Africa. We don't want your polony and everything else. Zambia even going further and saying, hey, fruit and veg as well, we're not going to touch it, send it back. There's a lot of concern from the neighbours. Are they warranted and justified in their concern?
Yes, I think so to a degree. Obviously, listeriosis, if not checked very quickly, and as we know, has resulted in deaths. I think that is a concern. The strain has been found in that factory, but we are still not convinced that that was actually the original source. And if it was not the original source of the outbreak, then we have a problem, because this whole banning of imports by other countries obviously has a serious effect on our economy. It's going to create job losses that South Africa can't afford. And our concern is this actually the source? Is this actually the source?
Yeah, we look forward to finding out, and we hope that people stop getting sick and people stop dying of this extraordinary story here. Largest ever outbreak recorded globally of Listeria outbreak in South Africa. Lindy Wilson, for the moment, I'm going to have to thank you. Thank you very much for joining us here on the Newsmakers.